Thanks for staying with us. So going back to our topic for this last segment, we're going to be talking on the Detty December season because lots of kids are around, teenagers hanging out with their friends and cousins from abroad. Friends are going out, there are parties. My husband came home like 4 a.m. last night. I mean, the parties are happening back to back to back, you know? I'm like, okay, what's happening? Well, I'm stuck in the kitchen right now, but...
You're dirty in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm dirty in the kitchen right now. But it's all good. But with all the excitement out there, there's still that part of safety, being cautious, because quite a bit are happening at the clubs, at the malls, at family functions, at gatherings, behind the buildings, in the corners, and the guest rooms. Kids are just getting lots of exposure. I mean, the last time my cousins, their cousins are coming in next week. And the last time their cousins came in, first of all, from the under 24 hours, my daughter started having, Michelle started having an accent. She started speaking. I said, Auntie, calm down. You're in Nigeria. These ones are going in the next couple of weeks. They are going back. This accent that you're carrying, please, please. Everyone said you've been in the house. So there are things happen when we got up. So I think it was important for us just to take a few moments to caution ourselves. Enjoy the season, but at the same time, let's be careful of what's out. Let me start with Amaka, because I know you've been out there quite a bit. Yeah. So what are the things you've observed so far in people dirty in the December?
Yeah, so for me, it's important to have fun, enjoy yourself, but then don't get carried away. Peer pressure is a thing. If you don't drink, why do you want to drink? If you're going to drink, why are you not cautious? Why are you leaving your drink on the table and going to the bathroom and coming back, leaving your drink unattended? If you leave your drink, don't go back to that drink. People are popping pills and a whole lot of things happening. You're going to beaches or you're entering certain clubs and there are people outside telling you, do you want this, do you want that? There's a lot of accessible drugs everywhere. So kids need to be quite cautious because a lot of things are lists. You don't know what is in what you're taking. You can just go, but you can just die. You understand? Sister. Yes. Peer pressure is a thing. So I'm really pleading with the teenagers, the teens this period. Please be very careful. Be very, very careful. You might be the one that is the calm person and everything, and then, they just want to try you. Don't put yourself in a position where they will try you. Be cautious, guard yourself jealously. Have fun, but be on guard always. And parents, please, if you have kids that's going to start late, go for concerts, make sure that there's a driver or that they have a way to get back home. I would advise parents not to even allow them carpool. Because the person that is driving, you don't know if the person has taken alcohol or they've taken something. You understand? So make sure that you have your own. If your child is going to go out, go for a concert or something, make sure that you have a driver or you wake up and go and pick that child back home yourself.
So I would like to add that because it's the December season and everybody's looking to have fun, we should not throw away our boundaries and our rules as parents. I'm talking to parents now who have teenagers in the house. You know the rules that have guided you from January, where we don't stay out till this time. If you have to go for anyway, my house, no sleepovers. But if you have to go for a get-together, we have to do it either in the person's house or in a public place, and then my nanny goes with you. If I can't be there presently, my nanny comes back to pick you. So I know who I'm discussing with. I've dropped, like my son went out yesterday, I've dropped Camdeli. They are coming to pick him up by 6, an open place. We already know the food we have paid for and everything. So I'm not going to, because it's Christmas, I'm now throw away all of those rules that have, kept the home for that long. And I also did not raise my children to see Christmas as special. It was just very recent. In fact, even till last year, we don't have we're buying Christmas clothes or we're buying New Year clothes or we have to wear a new cloth on this special day. I didn't raise them like that. So nobody in my house has mentioned, Mommy, have you bought us Christmas clothes? Because they didn't grow up having to buy that. They have new clothes when they have new clothes. When we buy new clothes, they wear to church on Sundays. So I took out that pressure from very early. And I knew the battle I had, the conversations I had at the time I was taking out that pressure. But now it's paid me. Nobody's harassing me for this. I just make sure that we do our hair, we look good, we do our henna, and that's okay. And also when it comes to drinking and eating things that you do not provide for them, you should have started the conversation. And even if you have not, it's still not too late to bring your teens together and tell them, you don't do this, like you said, you don't leave your drink and walk away and come come back to that same drink. You don't eat this. Learn to say no. There's something my father-in-law always says. A man who cannot reject food cannot reject poison. It's not everything that comes that you eat. If you don't understand the food, how it's made, do not eat it. And then the drinking thing and the taking drugs is a conversation we must be having every day with our teenagers, because they can easily be distracted. They may not even pay attention when those things are slipped in to their drinks.
Especially those who are coming from abroad. You don't even know the nuances that are around here. So you just come here, your mind is, I want to enjoy Lagos. And you're there, you're taking everything, your guards are down. Come on, let me bring the party. And they're bringing the drinks and you're just partying. In your mind, you're just partying. But Gary, let me come to you, Mary, in a second. I have Engineer Ekundayo. Good morning, Ekundayo. Good morning, Engineer.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, just to contribute, this season, I mean, that people get loose, I mean, is a little bit risky, especially for our young ones. You've been discussing on this topic, and I said that for our children, the teenagers especially, that you don't leave them unattended. You know, the fact that we're in December and we are celebrating does not mean that we should get loose. And all this indiscipline that happens during this period, we don't have to just to embrace them. You know, everything, we do it in moderacy. And whatever you do in this season especially, you know, families spend more money. And with the economic trend in the country, I mean, we should all prepare for early next year. You know, when we don't know what is in store for us ahead. But we all, everybody, every family needs to be very prudent.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so with teenagers and young adults, well, you know, everyone says the right thing. We need to teach them how to carry themselves, don't throw your boundaries when you're out. Be smart about it, but also, you know, for those that said, oh, you have to be with the children. When you're talking of much younger children, it's easier to be with them. The reason why we say teens and young adults, because it is a period in time when parenting is done from a little bit afar. Because you're trying to grow children to be independent, and you're hoping that all the years of teaching you, it is this your teenage years and your young adulthood that you try to independently live the life that I've always raised you to live. Do you understand? So when parents are not in the vicinity, it's not necessarily bad parenting. It's that this is the point where you can't be with them everywhere. So we're hoping that they know what is right. I talked about a play that I took my son to yesterday. And one of the things, you know, that was highlighted was that our children can be quite gullible, especially if you've raised them in a certain secluded, sheltered way. And then they find themselves with people that they're not used to, in areas they're not used to. They tell them lies. They're not able to think. Do you know what? It was my son that actually highlighted. I was like, why is this guy not making smart decisions? He said, because he's gullible. He was the one that even worded it for me. That means that person is easily fooled. So I like that idea, you know, that tip you gave, which is sometimes we think they know, they don't know. We need to teach them when you go out. These are some of the things that you do. These are things that can happen. Watch your drink, you know. You don't have to try everything. If someone gives you something you're not used to or you don't know, you don't need to take it. Because that story wasn't really about children who are bad children, who want bad things. But the way that drug use has gone now. When we were younger, we knew bad children did drugs, good children. Now, good children do drugs because the way it's sold to them is like, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just, you know, the way that we used to visit our friends and they'll give us soft drinks is not how they give each other right now, you know. So it depends. So that's why that discipline is important. We hope that the years of coaching them and teaching them that times like this, when they find themselves out with their friends, that they are able to insist on, you know, the boundaries that have been set, you know, before this period. And now for our parenting, we need to communicate better as parents. I understand that we're so afraid. You know, I recently realized that I was parenting, you know, from a place of fear, like, don't do this, don't do that, you know. But sometimes you need to, from a place of confidence, you've done the work. You can learn to trust. And when you don't, you're not sure, ask the questions. One of the characters that was highlighted was a parent assumed so many things because they were afraid. Rightfully so. A lot of things happening around them and did not ask the question. Be your friends, your child's friend's friend. Know them. Know the questions to ask them. If your child gives you one story, find a way to find the parent of the your friend and ask them questions as well to confirm. You know, there's one thing, is either we don't trust them at all or we trust them too much. You have to constantly be on the lookout, questioning, asking questions to make sure, you know, that they're telling, because at this age, they will manipulate us.
Yeah,
of
They will
course.
tell us all sorts of things
smarter.
so that they can get away with things. But make sure you have a room, a safe place that they can have conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I like
also not okay.
I like what you said in terms of asking questions, because when you go out and you see something new, like I think I'd mentioned it here before, where I went out and then went to the first place and I saw people blowing balloon, and I'm wondering, like, is this a kids' party? It's not a kids' party. I said, okay. We went to the second place. People are still blowing balloon. I'm wondering, like,
balloon are they blowing?
I'm coming. I'm wondering, like, why are they blowing balloon? This is not a child's party. This is adult party. Why is everybody blowing balloon?
Yeah.
Then they gave me balloon to blow. I said, no, I'm not going to blow balloon. I don't want to blow balloon.
something.
What are they blowing?
It's
You have to
called-
ask questions. I said, and I asked, and they don't say anything. And when I went home, and I asked, I said, why is everybody blowing balloon? And they said balloon is gas.
Yes.
So that means I would have just taken balloon, thinking I want to blow balloon. I'll blow something else. So you don't have to try what you don't understand or you don't know.
Yeah.
Say no till you
Yeah.
understand.
I also saw that cocktail that smokes. Somebody was posting it on social media and warning people
Yeah.
when you go for parties. All those cocktails that you see that it looks very fancy, but there's smoke inside. They say it's dry ice they are putting there. It's not good for the health and all of that. A lot of things are happening. So what I would advise, because it's also something that I talk about in my teenagers course, is to ensure that you're not constantly changing the circle that you have. So the circle that you already know, you should have been friends, like she rightly mentioned, with the parents of the children that your kids hang with. You should already know. And those are the people that you trust, that you can have the hangouts with. It's not now that we are going to be calling people we don't know that my son is coming to your place or my daughter is coming to your place to do a hangout. It's too late for that because you have not taken time to understand those parents. So those rules that you already have, you don't throw them away because it's a festive season. And also communication is very, very important with your teenagers. A lot of parents are afraid to discuss sex. They're afraid to discuss drugs. They're afraid to discuss, and you have a 12, 13, 14, 15 year in your house, and you're afraid to discuss sex with them. Congratulations. Continue.
Because
Don't
especially
talk.
when these are our friends from the
Obodo
Obodo
Igbo.
will come around, they have a bit more exposure.
Yes, they
And when
do.
they talk to your children feel like, I'm missing out. So you guys can do this. Really?
Yes.
I know. I mean, I had that experience last year where my kids felt like they've been caged all their life. When they hear all the gist from their cousins, I had to remind them, hello, yeah, in
is
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
this is different.
Yeah.
Why you're
and we're different here. This is how these are our rules. So it's also, parents must pay attention. We love our cousins, we love our family from everywhere in the world, but we must understand that there are boundaries and these are the things that we do. So their children must be conditioned before people start coming. It's important because they need to see the difference, understand it, and also know how to make independent decisions by themselves because these kids can
Can't
be
follow them
influenced.
everywhere.
Come from somewhere.
Yeah.
How do you represent us when you go out? They must know that all the time.
I think that's all we can take on today's show. Unfortunately, we're expecting the governor of Anambra State's wife, Mrs. Soludo, was supposed to be here with us, but unfortunately she couldn't be here. So hopefully we should have her soon, another time. We just had to find a way to make up the space for her, but we were really hoping to have her as our guest today. Hopefully soon she'll come back. Have a fabulous day and join Talkwell BC tomorrow. See you then. Bye for now.